Hello everyone and welcome back to the San Diego Chargers franchise as we dive into the divisional round of the AFC postseason between our Chargers and the #1 seed Jacksonville Jaguars. These teams met 2 years ago in the postseason. The Jaguars won that game and made it to the Super Bowl. They've also played against each other this year, and the Jaguars won that game by 3 points. That was also the last game the Chargers lost, and we know they have been a different team since then. San Diego has deferred to the second half, and Josh Lambo is ready to get us started. From Jacksonville, division round playoff action is underway. Lambo's kick is taken from the end zone by Gary, and he angles left, taken down. Good tackle by Christopher Costin. The winner today will be moving on to face the Buffalo Bills in the AFC Championship game. Buffalo and Seattle already winners this week. Jacksonville opens up with 3 receivers on first down. Play fake from Bortles as he's pressured by Melvin Ingram, and this throw is incomplete. The pass rush was a big part of the win last week with 7 sacks against the Ravens. Now on second down, handoff to TJ Yeldon as he is brought down by Leonard Howell, who is rejoined this week by Denzel Perryman. He has not played since the Vikings game over 6 weeks ago, but he has returned to help aid this playoff run for San Diego. And this is a good rushing Jacksonville offense they're up against. In the pistol on third down, fake from Bortles. He's going deep, left side for Hopkins, and it's broken up. DeAndre Hopkins, who had almost 1,500 receiving yards this year, was the target. Well covered there by Butler, and Brightful also helping. So here we go with the Charger offense, and they are without Reggie Shepard, who may not play again this season. Instead, it's Harmon Whitaker making the start alongside Keenan Allen. Of course, at running back, they have Stephen Smiley, who is brought down by Dante Fowler, who got a great jump. Following a loss of 1, here is Cole Hartman's first throw, as he finds Derek Anelli, still filling in for Hunter Henry, and doing so very effectively. After a gain of 10, now third and short. Back to Smiley, and he won't get there. Stopped by Malik Jackson and Telvin Smith, and the Chargers will kick. Jacksonville at their own 33 as they open up offset I, and this is Yeldon with defenders falling down. He gets a block from Hopkins into Charger territory, racing inside the 20 with Verrett finally catching up to him. Yeldon all the way down to the 11. We see on the outside Howell trips as Brightful's getting blocked, and meanwhile Hopkins was already taking care of Butler. So Jaguars at the 11, Yeldon again, this time much better defense. Stopped by Ingram. At the 8-yard line, third down here for the Jaguars. Bortles, clean pocket, and a touchdown for DeAndre Hopkins. Look at the anticipation on this play by Blake Bortles. He has certainly come a long way, and he's had great receivers to help him get to this point. Hopkins reels in the touchdown, and the Jaguars are on top. My main concern in this matchup was that if it turns into a shootout, how are the Chargers going to fare without Reggie Shepard, as Hartman's under pressure and can't get this throw to the outside. Hartman was sacked 7 times in the first meeting. Delayed draw here. This is Smiley up the middle as he picks up 5. Smiley well contained last week, under 3 yards a carry. The Chargers didn't run very well against this defense back in the first matchup, but that of course was not with Stephen Smiley in the game. They may need him a lot today, with the Chargers down a top receiver against a great secondary. 3 receivers on third down. Hartman checked down off the helmet of Procise and nearly intercepted. He waved for it, but still wasn't ready, and the Chargers fail on their first 2 drives. Back we go to Jacksonville. 9:25 on the clock. Counter yelled into the outside with room. Dragged down by Tyrone Brightful after a good pickup. Brightful coming off a very strong performance last week. As a flag comes in on this Yeldon carry, he did get down to midfield, and they will be backing up a holding call on Kelvin Beachum, the left tackle. To the shotgun here, it's 3rd and 17 for Blake Bortles. Well protected and wide open. Allen Hurns jukes out Brightful. That's a first down. You cannot give that up on 3rd and 17. into Charger territory. Give Yeldon running into Leonard Howell, who also played very well when Perryman was absent. Now a third down from the 32, good coverage, and Bortles is drilled by Bosa and throws incomplete. Great job in coverage by Perryman. And the Jaguars will go for a field goal. The Chargers think they're bluffing. They're clearly not. And it's off the crossbar. Catanzaro nearly drilled a 59-yarder. Instead, the Chargers take over at around midfield. And they open play action, dropping this off to Anelli. Getting good yardage here on first down. They isolate Keenan Allen to that left side against Bradley Roby. On second down, Hartman lobbing for an open man, that's Benjamin. Racing his way inside the 30, getting a good gain of 24 yards. 3:36 on the clock here in the first quarter. Hartman on second down. Quick out, that's Harmon Whitaker. We'll see how many looks he gets while he's matched up against Jalen Ramsey. Showing blitz up the middle as the stretch goes left. Smiley fighting through contact, won't go down easily. That's a tough gain of 5 for Stephen Smiley. Third and goal for San Diego. Stack left. Hartman, quick throw. Anelli out of bounds. Ran out of room. And that'll force a field goal try. Chargers now on the board, but trail by 4 as the Jaguars head back to work. Yeldon powers through Leggett and gets a few extra. Already at 87 yards. Third and short, again Yeldon, first down with a big lane, as Brightful can't bring him down, and Yeldon has already topped 100 yards. It could be a long day for this rush defense. Fake to Yeldon, Bortles down the middle, broken up, and intercepted by Leonard Howell. Off the deflection, the Chargers take it away. The second deep ball for DeAndre Hopkins. Looked like Wilbur got a hand on it. And Howell, right place, right time. So the Chargers have it here in the second quarter. High snap here handled by Hartman. He gets outside of the pocket, buying time. Now loading up for the deep ball, and it's intercepted! Pedro Triplett takes it back for Jacksonville. Hartman going for it all here, wanting Keenan Allen. And Triplett, the strong safety, makes an incredible catch. Jaguar football. Here's Bortles under pressure, and the defensive dominance continues. It's Kendall Treader, the rookie. 3rd and 19. Don't play too soft this time. Bortles lobbing out of bounds with good coverage and feeling the rush. Bortles just 2 of 9 passing. Still a 7-3 game with 12.5 to play in the first half as Smiley takes this up the middle and is brought down by Corin Haggerty and crew. Third down here for the Chargers. They need 4 yards. Well protected. Hartman throws a strike to Keenan Allen. Great job by the line, and Hartman makes a great throw to the intermediate level. Here's Hartman to the air again. To the outside, got Benjamin, and that is another first down. Good to see the passing rhythm still there for the Chargers without Reggie. Here's Hartman, feeling the rush, going deep, has Allen downfield, stopped at the 1 by Bradley Roby. Now can they punch it in? 1st and goal, Smiley is into the end zone for a Charger touchdown. Another score for Smiley. With every start, it looks like the Chargers have their new franchise running back. 10-7 San Diego leads with 8 minutes to play in the first half. And Blake Bortles heads back to the air. He's been off to a slow start, but finds Hopkins here for just his 3rd completion. Now they bring Allen Robinson in motion. Just no break for these DBs. So many talented receivers. Robinson to midfield. He had the least yardage of their big 3 with 8:55 this year. Now Bortles feeling the rush, finding Hopkins again. And a flag comes in after he gets the first down yardage. So they'll back up, but still have a first down. Flag on Allen Hurns, who had 1,013 yards this season. Here is 2nd down for Bortles. Slant caught by Allen Robinson as he beats Jason Verrett to the 42-yard line. Again, motion with Hopkins. Bortles short and broken up by Caesar Butler. Good coverage by the 3rd-year pro as he forces 4th down. And this time Jacksonville will punt. No, it's a fake! going deep, and incomplete for Corin Haggerty. Zach Bogan almost picked that off, but he's never seen this before, so he wasn't ready. We are lucky that was an overthrow. The Jaguars take over on downs, and they'll head to the ground as CJ Prosise gets the ball and a lane, giving Smiley a little break. Smiley was over 30 carries last week, so now you can see them rotating in. Prosise as he shows some good power. First down Chargers. Prosise still in the game. Here's a deep drop. Hartman with a good throw down the middle, and again the offensive line giving him time. They are a lot better than they were a month and a half ago. Smiley now on a draw up the middle as he looks fresh and picks up the first down on his 10th carry. That takes us to the 2-minute warning. They'll go Smiley again. With Smith downed, he goes up the middle to the 11. Third and short, and this time they go with Barry and Secchi. He carries, and that's Telvin Smith with the shoulder. Fourth down. And it looks like the Chargers might go for it. Hard count fails. They snap it, and Smiley is denied. They try to get the offsides. It doesn't work, and they still run it. Sheldon Day forces the turnover on downs. We are still in a 3-point game as the Jaguars begin a 2-minute drill. After a first down by Yeldon, Bortles well protected, finding Shirley on the outside. That's Devontae Shirley playing in the place of injured Martellus Bennett. 49 seconds left. Bortles to Hopkins, who gets a block from Yeldon. He'll get past Wilbur and then spun down at the 47. Bortles has been much more comfortable in this second quarter. Again, well protected as he finds Yeldon underneath. Good tackle as Verrett dives low. It's now 3rd and 2 as Jacksonville hangs on to that final timeout. Bortles steps up, has room to pick it up and will. Inside the 25 and brought down. But with one timeout left, they will have to burn it here. And the Jaguars will bring out Chandler Catanzaro. Now a 40-yard try. And Chandler Catanzaro ties this at 10. That will bring this first half to an end in what has been a very even matchup. These teams traded interceptions, traded turnovers on downs, and both have 10 points. We'll see what's in store in the second half. Let's get into the second half of action between the Chargers and the Jaguars. It's been a great game thus far, very even, except for the Jaguars have ran the football much more effectively. Chargers hope to change that as they begin on the ground with Stephen Smiley on his 13th carry, still under 40 yards. A lot more attention placed on the passing game today for San Diego as Anelli hauls this in and the Chargers move the chains. Without Reggie Shepard, they've at least moved the ball well and Hartman has been efficient. Hartman lobbing as a flag comes in. That was a dangerous throw, nearly intercepted, and they're lucky it was dropped because it could have stood. That's a holding call on Luke Ebby. And not having Shepard in there certainly hurts situations like this. Here's a blitz on 2nd and long as Allen makes the catch outside, and that'll make it a manageable 3rd down and 8. Benjamin slot left, Prosise the back. 4-man rush. Hartman gets it outside. And Allen with the catch. Oh my! Completely flips in midair. That is catch of the postseason until further notice. Chargers in Jacksonville territory here against the blitz. Anelli with the catch. Racing to the end zone. Touchdown, San Diego. Good read here from Cole Hartman. He sees the blitz, knows he has the one-on-one, and Anelli does the rest. He wins his route and then shows that speed. The tie has been broken, 17-10 Chargers on top, as the Jaguars come back empty as this goes through the hands of Devontae Shirley, who had some problems catching the football in that first meeting. 3rd and 3, easy first down. Yeldon spins out Tyrone Brightful as they work their way into Charger territory. Yeldon already at 130 on the ground. He'll get it again on the outside. Good discipline this time from Brightful as he does make the open field stop. 3rd and 9 now from the 45. Play fake. Are they going deep with this? No, they're not as Hearns makes the catch. and is brought down. Good stop by San Diego, as we will go back to the offense, and I've been very impressed with what Derek Annelli has done in this opportunity. Steven Smiley heads to the ground on 1st and 10. He will fight for as many yards as he can get, and he's not getting a lot of lanes today. Here's 3rd and 7 for San Diego, as Hartman steps up, throws a strike to the outside. That is a first down to Travis Benjamin. 5:46 on the clock. Chargers have had the football for most of this quarter, as Smiley gets through a lane and out to the 40-yard line. There's a good gain of 8. Maybe patience will pay off in the running game. But a throw here on 2nd down. Hartman is picked off, and it's Corin Haggerty. He intercepts Cole Hartman at the 41-yard line. It's great discipline here from the rookie, as he doesn't let himself get too far away from his flats assignment. He picks off the pass for Allen, and the Jaguars take over. From the pistol, handoff, and Yeldon is brought down. That's a great play by Ingram. It's a 3rd down and 7 now for Jacksonville. Have to get to about the 31, as the dump off is complete and well defended by Denzel Perryman. That'll bring out Catanzaro again. This from 50. And it does stay inside. I thought he was going to hook it, but they do capitalize off the turnover. 17-13. Hartman now with 5 interceptions in the playoffs, as this goes through the hands of Steven Smiley. Turnovers got the best of this team in the first matchup. It can't happen again. 3rd down, Hartman this time just hangs on to the football. Maybe a little more hesitant this play. Sheldon Day with the sack. Jacksonville beginning to swing things in their favor here in the 3rd quarter. Yeldon shut down. That is Larry Wilbur filling in from his safety position. 40 seconds on the clock in the quarter, as Bortles will keep this, but won't get past Larry Wilbur as he sniffs out that read option easily. And that is going to take us to the 4th quarter. We've had a great competitive game the entire day. Now 1 quarter left to see who's moving on to face the Bills. 3rd and 12. Here's a blitz as Bortles gets the pass out to Shirley, and that's not even close. Larry Wilbur owned this drive. 2 run stops and a blitz that forces Bortles to go to his secondary option. Charger football up 4. This is Smiley diving ahead with a short gain on his 19th carry. Again, that carry count getting up there. Here's 3rd and 6 now. Hartman with time to find Keenan Allen over the middle as he beats Corin Haggerty. Again, Benjamin lined up to the outside. 1st down. And again for Allen, 1st down. And still, Hartman getting great pass protection. 1st down from the 47. Again to the air. Hartman for Smiley, and he can't hang on. His 2nd drop of the ball game. On 2nd down, they'll hand it off to him. Smiley through the middle. Tries to power for a 1st down, but ends up a little shy. Now a 3rd and inches for San Diego. And Smiley picks it up. Enough power to get through first contact and continue this drive. Now they swap in Zach Bogan. It's a pitch to the right. And Bogan can't get outside. This defense is too fast. That's Pedro Triplett. Chargers now opening things up against the blitz. Good throw to Annelli. 1st down. Hartman reads that blitz, has his hot read ready. That's a very nice play. 8 minutes to go in the game as they'll run a stretch, and Smiley will get through a couple tackles, but he only gets a couple yards in the process. Another 3rd down for San Diego. They'll throw for it this time. Short for Benjamin, and dragged down by Corin Haggerty. They're in tight coverage. 4th and 1. They will go for a field goal this time. Josh Lambo's kick is good, and it's a 2013 game. Can this Charger defense now protect the lead with 6 minutes remaining? Bortles finds Hopkins here on the crossing pattern, as this will be enough for a conversion. Hopkins easily the primary target today for Blake Bortles. From the 36, Bortles has this knocked down by Joey Bosa as Yeldon was left alone. 5:17 on the clock, another 4-man rush. Bortles to the flats, and Yeldon is there to fall ahead. Good effort for about 9. Offset pistol on 3rd and 2. It's Yeldon for a first down. They gave the Chargers a very different look on that play, and it worked. 4 minutes left to play in Charger territory. Bortles with a pass down the middle. That's Allen Hurns. 26 yards and a big first down. Again, we see the passing offense pick up the pace. A draw now, and a big stop made by Joey Bosa on Yeldon. 2.5 minutes left to go. Cover 3 look from San Diego. Bortles has to throw this away as the pressure was arriving. 3rd and 10. Single high look again, a handoff, and Yeldon is rocked by Jatavis Brown. They thought they could surprise this defense again, and they're going to go for a field goal. This kick from Catanzaro makes it a 4-point game, so if they can get the football back, they'll have a chance to win it. 2 minutes left to go. Jaguars kick it deep. San Diego so close to ending this game as Bogan is brought down at the 25. Now can the Chargers run the clock out against the great Jaguar defense? On first down, Telvin Smith blitzes through the gap and takes down Smiley. Not a good start. 2nd and 13. Another run. Smiley met, dragged down on first contact. Timeout Jacksonville. They have 1 left. If the Chargers can convert this 3rd and 12, they will win this game. Hartman heads to the air. He gets outside the pocket. Lobbing for Allen, and it's broken up by Corin Haggerty. Allen had it for a moment. The ball and Haggerty arrive at the same moment, and Haggerty breaks it up. So we're not finished. The kick from Kaiser goes deep. This is Gary from the 22 handling the return, and is brought down by Christopher Costin. So the Jaguars have to go 64 yards in less than 2 minutes to win the game. They need a touchdown, and they have 1 timeout remaining. Here is Blake Bortles with good protection. And he fires incomplete, knocked away by Denzel Perryman. A turnover will end the game. Chargers keep both safeties backed off. 3rd and 7 for Bortles. Pressure from Joey Bosa. Bortles is sacked, and it's 4th and 11. Bosa splits the double team, and the game is now on the line. 3 receivers in the game for Jacksonville as Bortles fakes. Here comes the rush. He heaves it deep for Hopkins, and he makes the catch inside the 15. Timeout San Diego. 1-on-1 with Caesar Butler, and this time Hopkins comes away with it. The Chargers want to save time in case the Jaguars score. They still have to get into the end zone. Here's Bortles, knocked away. Broken up by Caesar Butler. 2nd down. They open up the formation now with 4 receivers. On 2nd down, well protected. Bortles lobbing and broken up in the end zone by Denzel Perryman. 3rd down. Again from the 11-yard line. 4-man rush. Here comes Ingram as Bortles floats this out of the back of the end zone. And again, the game is on the line. From the 11, 4th down, Jacksonville with 4 receivers. Bortles climbs, now throws, and is intercepted! Caesar Butler will send the Chargers to Buffalo. 4 times from the 11, they deny the Jaguars. Butler may have given up the big play, but he ends up with the game-sealing interception, and the Chargers have finally conquered Jacksonville. 2 incredible finishes for the Chargers here in the postseason as they win their 6th game in a row and will be headed to Buffalo for the AFC title game against the Bills. Wow, this was an incredible game, and I think we all expected it to be that way. These defenses were really tough, and the yardage had to be earned. We also saw aggressive play from both offenses backfire for turnovers and turnovers on downs. This was a really good football game, and the Chargers find a way to win again. Without Reggie Shepard, I thought Cole Hartman still played a pretty good game. He didn't have any inaccurate misses. and Keenan Allen was able to rack up 7 catches and almost 100 yards. Derek Anelli also helped fill in for Shepard, getting a lot more looks than normal. Our offensive line played much better today than they did in the first meeting, as Hartman was only sacked twice. So in the AFC, we have the Bills and the Chargers, and in the NFC, it will be the Seahawks and the still unbeaten Atlanta Falcons. Let's run through these matchups here quickly. In their first playoff game, the Falcons took care of Dallas 35-20 after a big second quarter. Matt Ryan, 3 touchdowns. Dak Prescott, 3 interceptions. Big day for Devontae Freeman. And Charlie McCardell, Defensive Player of the Year. 2 interceptions, 1 to Vic Beasley. In the Seattle-Philadelphia game, the Seahawks win after 3 Carson Wentz interceptions. Both NFC teams able to capitalize off of takeaways. And in the Buffalo-Oakland game, we will not face our division rivals as Rookie of the Year John Catanzaro leads the Bills to victory behind 4 touchdown passes. The Bills won the AFC East this season. They took care of New England, now Oakland. They will host the AFC Title Game against us. Now the Falcons went and signed a player off our practice squad, so I went to check out some injuries. The Bills are without one of their best offensive linemen, which is very big for us, but the Falcons lost Marquise Lee, so they went and signed Navari Hopkins, whom I was hoping nobody would take him off our practice squad, but he is clearly too talented to still be on a practice squad. So the Falcons picked him up, and we had to go fill in that roster spot, and I did so with Tavon Kincaid, second-year linebacker from Wisconsin. Now let's check on this Buffalo roster. And reminder, they are the team that defeated us last year in the postseason in the wild card round. We're going to meet their rookie quarterback, John Catanzaro, who is trying to lead them to the Super Bowl, and he seems to have a very well-rounded skill set. At running back, they have a combination of Trey Mason and LaShawn McCoy. Receiving core is led by Sammy Watkins and Dante Moncrief. They have a couple other key players on defense with Cole Herman and Anthony Barr. When I look at this roster, they're not as well-rounded as I expected. Their offensive line is already without one of their best players, and they were already kind of average to below average. In their secondary, I definitely think they're vulnerable. They have Stephon Gilmore, but not many established players beyond him. And for them to have 2 glaring weaknesses like that against receivers like we have, even without Shepard, I think we can make some plays. But especially their line against our front 4, that could spell bad news for John Catanzaro. So next time around in the Chargers franchise, we will see who is headed to the Super Bowl. That is going to do it for this episode. Thank you all for watching and supporting the series. Please leave your feedback down below. What did you think of today's game against the Jaguars? Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video and had a good time, and subscribe to the channel for much more Chargers franchise on the way. And I will see you all next time in the Chargers franchise in the AFC Title Game. Have a great day.